Abby is a true beta tester on my course that I created. What would you say if you got this course now and it went through everything? How much would you pay for the knowledge you have now for the rest of your career? Like if someone was like, this is the price, what would you pay knowing what you know now?
Oh, like easily a couple $1,000s.
So the reason I asked that now, because I just, there was a time and when I put in my stories, like, if I offered this, this, and this, how much would you guys be willing to pay? I put 97, 125, 298, and then like 350. And everybody said 125, right? So I kind of like tested the market, but all those people have no idea what you were that you received the information you got. So I guess it's a good understanding of where I stand of the value of the course and the price point people are willing to pay.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Abby? Can
Hi, how are you?
you hear me well?
Yes.
We'll get right into it. Okay, yeah, just introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Abby. I have been doing hair for like 4 years. I have worked in two other salons, and then I, in January, decided to go solo and opened my salon suite. And so, yeah, that's pretty much. I
Yeah, so
like
you,
worked in Dallas for a little bit, and then like suburbs of Dallas, so still like small town, and then in New Braunfels, which is like in between Austin and San Antonio, so smaller town too. So my brother texted me and it was like, "Hey, I'm gonna have this guy send you this thing and blah blah blah," and I was like, "Okay, none of that what you just said made any sense, but cool."
all right.
And yeah, and he was like, "Okay, this is his Instagram," and so I like hadn't even followed you, and then I like followed you and saw like there's people following you that I like literally am like idling them, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
All right, next one is now that we're going to the course, how long did it actually take you to get the course and go through it? Like,
I would say like in total because it shocked me how much math I actually had to do. And so I remember even talking to my brother and I was like, damn, like I literally have not done this much math since high school. Like,
yeah.
and I've been graduated for 8 years. Like I was like, oh my God, like wow. And so I would say like 6 to 8 hours, like if you
Great.
dove in,
Yep.
um, like one good work day.
Probably if anybody's watching this and decides to buy it, it's probably even faster than that. You just need to know how much you pay for products and how much you use per service, and
Yeah,
then
the
break it down.
longest part that took me, I think what added so much time was like I did not know what everything was costing me. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, wait, okay, my shampoo, when I buy my shampoo, it's this. When I buy my tub of color, so then I was like digging through my receipts and like trying to figure out how much my
Yeah.
tub of color was and like how much my bleach was and just everything. And then I was like, okay, and then I would write it down and then go back into the math. That's what took me the longest was I was just
Yeah.
not had no idea. Like I was like, oh wait,
Yeah.
what?
But I recommend, but I'll get into the question. So, uh, prior to the course that I gave you, did you have any structure to your pricing of services? Like when you charged 250 for a full head highlight, was there really any reason? Like
No,
real reason?
literally no. I was like, I took like I literally left that salon so quick. I had no plans. I had nothing saved up. I was just like, I need to get out of here. And so, and then my clients were like, um, where
So
you like what do
what
you
are we
mean
doing
you're not
here?
there anymore? And like I had clients that were like, I don't care. You can wash me out in your kitchen sink. I don't care.
Good, that's
And
good.
so I was like, okay, just give me like a week to figure it out. And then I literally was up and running within, I think it was like 10 days.
I remember being
Mhm.
on a call. Hopefully she's okay. She's cool. So I was on a call with one of the stylists I was working on. We figured out that she should be keeping about $2,700 a week after she paid her lifestyle, her overhead expenses, and her product. And her boyfriend, she was on Zoom, like it was loud. So he laughed, and then she laughed because he goes, "That ain't happening." Because when you're making a certain amount of money, you could just spend it because you know you're doing well and it doesn't affect you. But when you feel like if you do 27, we'll just say 3,000, or yeah, we'll say 3,000. If you did 3,000 times four, that's $12,000 extra money that you could literally blow. And she was like, no, that doesn't reflect my bank account. Because again, you can go out to, meals nowadays, depending on how you eat and where you go. And she was single. She was just single with a boyfriend. But she had a nice apartment, a nice car, good buying habits, expensive, not expensive clothes, but not cheap clothes. And easy meals can be easily $150. If you're a
Oh,
wine drinker, 3 glasses of wine, your boyfriend gets a steak, you get, or whatever the meal is, it's $150. You do that 6 times a week, add that up. You know what I mean? And that's not the things you take accountable because you're like, oh, I was just eating. But
yeah.
if you
Oh
have a
my gosh.
plan, again, it's all about having a plan with your money to spend it knowing you don't have to worry about it. Question: did you have any idea if at the end of every day, I guess when it's at the end of every day that you worked, you really had no idea what you did and didn't make?
No.
Really, like that's what like when like you have the full course, but like a lot what I was doing when I do the one-on-one when in my program, I do get that we do get that history of like what it looks like as them making profit every week. And again, I don't know if that breaks it down to true profit. Again, true profit being after products paid for, overhead is paid for, and all living expenses paid for. That to me is true profit.
Hmm.
Um, so we would get to the point where, like for example, last stylist I just talked to is at $800 profit a week. So she knows what those weeks look like. So she knows, like, okay, based on this many services, this is what it would look like to earn the $800. But she also knows her services, like, again, if you got this granular with it, but like you'll know on a full head highlight, your profit margin is $200. On your partial, it's 125. So it's not even like about like the week now. It's like, what do I have booked? And is that going to hit me to my goal? And again, it depends like how much you like for you, you probably want to find a balance within the next, you're fresh. So like a year to 2 years of how much you really want to make and how much you want to be spending time with your daughter. Because again, you can work so much, but if you had the organization of understanding the profit margin per service, then you'd be like, all right, I really just want to focus on booking full head highlight clients or whatever the tier is. So for example, ideally, when I work with someone, I want them to be at about 200 or more for a full head blonding service because that's the high end, right? Depending on where you're at as far as career wise and deliverability, which means your results. You can't just be charging out there, you won't be busy. So, there's fine tuning in that. But again, if you did 2 highlights in a day and it's a $200 profit, that's true $400 profit. All bills are paid for, everything's paid for. Now you do that 3 times a week. That's 400 times three. That's $1,200. That's $1,200 profit. Are you happy with that, or do you want to earn more? Are you good with that? And now you're working less because again, you could do one partial, one full, and then 3 gray coverages and be booked all day and make less than you would if you just booked 2 full heads. And obviously, once you get to the rhythm of using social media, having the demand, you can then now know when someone comes in, I want to be sure to book the 200. Like you're looking at these people as boom, $200 profit.
Yep.
The 150. And again, there might be days I call them mindless days where when I worked with the hairstylist and they have a lot of gray coverages or a lot of haircuts, you might just want to show up on a Monday and have all your gray coverage clients come in back to back to back and just get them out of the way so you don't lose that money and you keep that money coming in. But you also kind of give yourself a mental day off or a soft day back to work because gray coverage is not that crazy. But it
Yeah.
also is not a big seller. Nobody who's walking around go, wow, who do you see for your gray coverage? You know what I mean? So it's not like a
Yes.
big seller. All right, I think last question. How do you, I guess, like now, how do you feel after the program? Like you went from complete no understanding to complete understanding, and do you feel like where you're at now? Again, I watch stylists who go years and years and years of their career having no idea and just again hamster wheel. booked
Mm-hmm.
and busy, no idea what the money. Now, how much like confident, where are you at sitting now opposed to where you were, a month ago when I sent this to you?
Yeah. Insanely different. I mean, just knowing, like, even like we went up just this past weekend to for my niece's wedding. And like we brought our like my RV up there, and like I was like, "Oh, like I actually still have money." Like I was like, "Wait, I came home this week and I still can buy my $80 Amazon cart?" Like
Oh,
what?
so you planned it. So you were able to take the profit margin,
Yes.
understanding how much you actually make, and you utilize that for the planned trip, like how I was talking in the beginning of this
Yes.
program. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
and like just breaking it down, like I'm like, okay, so I know like this is costing me this much. This is what my week looks like. Okay, like and each and like I'm not fully booked yet. Like I book out about two
Yeah,
weeks, and I still have room for like a haircut or whatever, just like small
yeah,
services. But
you're
uh,
growing.
yes, um, and so I like broke down all of like my weeks, and on average, like I'm taking home, I think when I did it, and I think of course I had it in my other notebook, um, but it was like I think I was taking right here, I was taking home $345 profit,
Yeah,
like
and
to
what
just
you just
put
did right
into
there, what you just did right there, I'm gonna say 90% or 99% of you guys who are watching this video can't do what she just did, and that is why I made this program because what she just said, again, as we'll say, a single mother or a mother, right? You want to have absolutely clarity of what money you do or don't have, what money you can and can't spend.
yeah
So again, what's the biggest stress in life? Really, work and money. But the work's usually stressful because the money's not there. So like again, hamster wheel effect, you're gonna just go work more so the money can be there. But if you don't understand the money will never be there. So you end up working more. And it's just a vicious
yeah
cycle. So
literally. And I think when I did this course, like me and my boyfriend started having a lot more like financial like conversations, and like
conversations.
one of the big ones, like he has a great job, he's a diesel mechanic, like makes great money. And like he was telling me, he was like, yeah, I have like my 401k, I have my Roth, I have this and then this, and I was like, oh
Cool.
yeah. Like I
Yeah.
was like, oh wow. I was like, and I think the biggest thing for me, like that I took from this, like outside of just numbers, was if like something happened to me right now, I would have nothing to give my daughter. Nothing. And that was my biggest like realization, because I was like, I left somewhere because I was working so hard and not spending any time. And now I still like, just because I'm just like all over the place and la di da whatever. And
Mhm.
then I was like, and then when I looked at like actually my numbers and actually broke it down, it's like, okay, like setting this aside, this is how much I can put for away for her. Like
Yeah.
strictly just for her, or this I can put away strictly just for this. Like,
Mhm.
and that was my biggest like life takeaway from it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Knowing you're
Besides
prepared.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. With clarity. But anything else you want to end this with? Because this has been great, and I do want to say I appreciate you doing this. I know you were like, "Wait, what's a beta tester?" And again, I didn't have a plan for this. This was not a plan. I have plenty of testimonials of all the success I have with all the other hairstylists I have, but I had not had one person who I could just send who doesn't know me or information I've been providing for the years that could be like the reason why you were more successful than anybody who's watching this. You literally got it with zero
Oh yeah.
information to
By
everybody else. So
yes.
now, from this point on, the rest of your career, knowing your numbers, is completely in your hands. You can control. Like, basically, what I say is once someone has this course, there's not a day there shouldn't be a day they don't make money and they're not aware of it. So you
Mhm.
will never not spend another day behind your chair truly making money, which
Yeah.
is a hard thing to do. And again, projections, like you can get to the point where you can go, okay, what does next week look like? Let me, if I have all these clients, you can sit there on a Sunday. And if I don't know if this is something you do or don't do, but this is what you can do. Take a half an hour on a Sunday, look at your next coming week, write down all these services, know how much profit you're making. And again, you'll get an average of like, okay, I want to make $500, or we'll say, you're at what, the high 300. So even if it was 450, okay, I want to be making 450 profit. Let's see what next week looks like. And if you're not there, why are you not there? Is there more clients? Is there not enough clients at a higher tier profit? Or are you booked but with lower tier profit services? And that's where you want to be like, okay, like I have 2 spots Tuesday, I can get someone else there. And again, you're just booking yourself to get to the point of profit margin that you want. But you will start, and this is, again, I work with stylists for 3 months. They get to the point where they already know how to book people to hit the profit margin they want. So like, again, I have a video up on YouTube now with Katie. Katie wanted to create a much better work-life balance. So she's actually working 8-10 hours less a week, but making, I believe, $800 more, because she knows how to book the $200 or more profit margin clients. So she's like only booking those people, and again, structuring it accordingly to hit the numbers she wants.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. That's the end. I know we went on a little bit of rant. My editor is going to have to chop this up pretty well, but again, I do appreciate you taking the time, not only just to go through the course and actually putting it through, because I could have sent that to 10 other people. And even if they were struggling in your position, they would have done nothing with it. You know what I mean? You took it, so I applaud you for taking it, recognizing where you're at, and just be like, okay, again, that was $1,000 course that I offered before. You got it for free. It's going to be on sale for $125. But again, you said thousands, because again, you get to kind of
I mean, yeah, when
control.
you break it down, like to what you're actually like, breaking down my prices to actually see what I'm actually taking home. I mean, I feel like you take that
Priceless.
and you add that to your price. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
put a price on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Clarity.
insane.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
is.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Abby. And if you have any questions or concerns or anything, reach out.